Community Connect of the 25-26 school year. I will be beginning, and then the board of directors will come on at the end to explain all that they're doing for the school and how you can be a part. We start with the Adams 12 accepted land acknowledgement and our school mission statement. A little bit of fun for everyone. The first week of school, wow, now 2 weeks ago, it's amazing that our kids have been in school and it's like we never left. So lots happening. We see some kindergartners here, third and fourth graders, seventh and eighth graders already doing science work. And then our high schoolers, the first week, ninth and 10th grade attended a Rockies game. So that was a team building fun activity for them. Agenda, so that you know where we're going and the information that you'll receive from this portion of the Friday Community Connect. Starting off with a little gratitude to our events committee. If you attended the Red Robin night, it was super fun. We packed the place and turned the tables several times. So I want to thank the community for coming out and just having a blast. And I also want to thank our events committee because it really felt like the community came out. Mark your calendars because the next community spirit night is at Perry's Pizza. That's another big restaurant that we can be at together and see one another out in the wild. So Thursday, September 18th, come and support the school and be a bigger part of our community. I also want to thank all of our parents for coming to our family engagement nights. We had wonderful attendance and wonderful participation. All of them are over now. 7-8 was last night. So thank you so much. And I want to give a special thank you to Cassie Siebold, who attended every single one, to our assistant principals and to our teachers for being there and welcoming in our families and giving a little bit of information of what we do every day, both instructionally through curriculum and some of the student supports we have available at Westgate as well. This was so much fun. I don't know if everyone has seen this on social media, but we have our Westgate Garden up and running. And during the first week of school, our second graders went out and picked over 600 tomatoes. And those tomatoes made their way over to Chef Michael's, who provides our lunches. And they have a partnership with our school. And so our produce will be used at different times throughout the year in our lunches. And so last week, those salads featured Westgate tomatoes, and we're so excited for that. That our bountiful land and garden are now helping to feed our students. It's a wonderful partnership. So super excited about that. We started the year also with RISE celebrations and kickoffs in our great auditorium amphitheater space outside. And this was one of the assemblies. And you may notice there's a new R in RISE. And that is, we have the respect, integrity, safety, and empathy that's always been there. And now we're adding resilience. So this is another skill that we're teaching our students in advocacy and working out throughout the year, all day, every day at Westgate. So resilience is now added to respect, integrity, safety, and empathy. A bit of an update on our Audinasium. This is one of the concept drawings for the Audinasium space. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our design advisory group. This is a group of parents, students, and staff members who have been working all summer with our architects and owners rep to come to an agreement on how not only to build out our full-size gym with a platform stage to make the gym an auditorium for performances, but also how to um, rethink and use the current gym space. And so a couple of highlights will be that the Spanish room, which is now down the hallway from the high school, will be moving into that space so that it shares um, the open space and community space of the high school. So in Burgundy, there is the Spanish classroom. There's some storage in sort of the pinkish purple here. The green is the music room moving over so that it's closer to the platform and to the stage to make performances easier for our music groups, but to also act as a green room for our stage performances. Then again, a full size gym. And then in the back, we are looking at seating that retracts, that's actual auditorium seating rather than bleacher seating. All of this, of course, is in the concept phase. We have a room that is currently part of the north building here in Gold. And that is a very well lit, lots of windows, skylights room. And we'd like to save that or emulate it if we have to rebuild and it can't be saved. And then the dock is still there so that we can continue getting deliveries to the school with ease. More restrooms have been added. So this is all pieces that may be moving, but this is all part of phase one. We interviewed general contractors for our project yesterday and made a selection. And then what we believe will be happening is summer occupancy of 2027. So construction will start if all permits and everything go as planned the summer, and maybe demolition in May of this year, 2026, construction through next year, and then occupancy at the end of the year or during the summer of 2027. And it will be in full use by the 27-28 school year. So I know it seems far away for some, but it's been a dream of Westgate for 16 years. So to see it that close is really exciting. And I believe this is space that our students and community will really get full use. And then it will open up spaces for phase two for the science lab and other community learning spaces within where the current music room and Spanish room reside. Here's some fun pictures of concept drawings of what it could look like outside, some of the materials that could be used, and some more of those outside drawings. So, do we really want it to look like and be a mirror image of what the school kind of looks like externally now? Or do we want to really get away from that? So these are simply concept drawings, but the design advisory group will be helping us and helping the architects make decisions and as the general contractors come aboard. This is just a call out. We really need our community to get involved and volunteer. There are 3 great board committees. School accountability is a committee that you can become a part of and help us write our unified improvement plan. They look at all of the test scores. They look at student achievement and growth, help us write a plan so that we can focus staff professional development, what curriculum changes might we need, what are some support staffing that we might need. They also are instrumental in creating the parent survey that goes out every year, and then looking at that information and reporting back to the board what does our community want, what do they need, what's working for us, and what might we need to change as we move forward into the years. Our grants committee has been coming together. We have another meeting in September. The grants committee will be focusing on grants around safety and security, STEM programming, as well as environmental education. We're also on the lookout for operational grants and things like that. So please join us. If those are programs that excite you, you can help us by researching grants, writing grants, reading through them once they're written to give us feedback. So there are many ways to get involved in the grants committee. And then events committee, spoke of them earlier about the Spirit Nights. They also do the book fairs at school, the school carnival at the end of the year, lots of volunteer opportunities. If you can't be a member of the grants committee, please consider volunteering for some of those events. That help is so beneficial to our whole community in making each event a success. So please reach out. There's a link here, and you can also reach out through the board page, email communications. If you'd like to get involved, we'd love to have you. As a parent, I always like to know when a spirit week is coming a few weeks ahead of time so I have time to go out and put the outfits together. So in September, early September, September 8th through the 12th, the events committee has planned a spirit week, and Monday will be Rainbow Day. So wear your favorite color, wear all the colors. So we want our hallways to be bright and colorful on Rainbow Day. Tuesday is Crazy Hat or Hair Day. So think of, look at Pinterest, get online, come up with those ideas. On Wednesday, it's Westgate Wednesday. Wear your Westgate gear, show your school spirit. On Thursday, we're doing Throwback Thursday, and you can dress in any era that you like. So 50s, 80s, 90s. Last time we did this years ago, somebody came dressed in Victorian era. So whatever era you are, you love, dress in that era on Throwback Thursday. And on Friday, we love it, Pajama Day. So get up, keep your jammies on or put new jammies on, come to school, and that will be Friday, September 12th. Just a reminder, free lunches and meal benefits, you have to complete an economic data survey. It's been sent out several times, but if you feel like you may qualify for free lunches, please put in that survey. I don't know if everybody knows in the community that the free lunches for all measure is going to be on the ballot again in November. So we don't know if the free lunches for all program will be continued. So if you feel like you would qualify for free lunches, even if the ballot measure is not supported in November, please get that done so that it's a smooth transition should free lunches go away at the state level. And then some important upcoming dates. I like to get us through first quarter here. We have a half day coming up on August 29th. It's 11:30 pickup for those of you who haven't done a half day before. And the rest of the day, staff is in professional development. And Champions is open for care if you need care on that day. We have no school that Monday for Labor Day, so it makes getting on the road if you're leaving town easier for families. Picture Day is coming up on Friday, September 5th. Then we have that Spirit Week. September 18th is that Perry Pizza Spirit Night. And then on Wednesday, October or September 24th, we have Student Count Day, and that's a very important day where we count all the students for the state to see how many students we have, and that's how much funding we get from the state. So please be in attendance. Try not to make appointments on September 24th. On Friday, September 26th, you'll be getting more information about our annual fun run. This year, the fun run will support our art education and art programming at the school. So be on the lookout for more information about our fun run on the morning of September 26th. Monday through Friday, September 29th to October 2nd is our Scholastic Book Fair. And Thursday, October 2nd is another half day where teachers will be doing professional development. And then we have, oh, I'm sorry, that's conferences. We'll have virtual conferences in the afternoon of October 2nd and all day conferences on Friday, October 3rd from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And teachers will be reaching out for parents to sign up for in-person or virtual conferences, whatever works for you. And then we go into fall break the next Monday. So just wanted to give you a little bit of update of what's happening, what's been happening over the summer in terms of our construction project. And thank you to all the Adams 12 voters who voted for that bond. That's where the funding is coming from for our Audinasium. And we're so very, very grateful. So I will finish sharing now so that the board can start.
Thank you, Sharon. Robin, are you able to share the presentation?
I am. It says it's loading it. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you. So thanks everybody for coming. I'm Carrie Horn. I am the new president of the board of directors. I've been on the board. This is my third year, but my first serving as the role of president. And we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what the board does and kind of welcome you to our community and how to be involved. So next slide, we're going to talk about what it means that Westgate is a charter school, talk about who your board members are and just that we are all parents. We'll talk about the role that we serve for the school, some of the committees and the ways that you can get involved. Robin.
And yes, I am curious if someone can tell me how to switch this to presenter view because I am not accustomed to Teams, and then I will continue.
I only see the main screen personally. I don't see anything else.
Thank you. I will stop that. Okay. So I'm back on track. What is a charter school? Charter schools are public schools. So Westgate is a public school in the Adams 12 school district. Like other public schools, charter schools are funded by public dollars based on how many students are enrolled. And we follow guidelines set by the state and federal government. A big difference, though, is that finances are maintained entirely by the school. So this includes staff salaries, supplies, building and campus maintenance, and any support services, all of it. So the word charter in charter school is a reference to the agreement or contract that describes the school's goals, operational structure, and accountability standards. Adams 12 is our authorizer, and they periodically review and renew our school's charter, but the Adams 12 board doesn't govern our school. Our own board of directors does. As part of the charter authorization process, Westgate requests the waiver of certain guidelines, requirements that are typically adhered to by schools. Examples of some of our waivers include facility dog Blanche, who you'll see is our favorite waiver, the dual enrollment in our high school, and the option to for leadership to select curricula that best fit the school's mission, vision, and the needs of our students. Every charter school has a mission and vision. So ours are here. These become our anchors when it's time to make decisions. So I won't read them, but my family was really drawn to Westgate for the commitment that you see here to the whole child and the understanding that every student is an individual who deserves to learn in a place where they can authentically be themselves. I love the way that Westgate really explicitly celebrates like this almost counterintuitive idea that by honoring the individual and the needs of each individual, we are also serving and strengthening the community. I love that dialectic right there. Also, we are super excited because we've been revising the strategic plan. It's a work in progress, but we have committed to the areas of focus that you see here. It's managing funds with intention, developing the physical space that makes up Westgate, and continuing to recognize the whole person in every member of the school committee. And we're really mindfully naming that our community is made up of students and teachers and staff and families. Um, our plan doesn't actually include academic achievement, but that's because we're a school, so we feel like that is a given. But really what we're going for is this idea that our mission, vision, and the strategy are all in place to give every single student an outstanding education and to lead to that academic achievement. So, Mario.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to take a minute just to introduce all of the board members who are here talking to you today, and then some people who aren't here today. And then I think I see a past board member, so I'll give him a shout out in a minute. But Carrie Horn, who you've heard from, she's our president. She's in the 3rd year of her first term, and she has a 9th and 11th grader at Westgate. There's me, Mario Acklin, of course, and I'm in the first year of my 2nd term, and I have a senior this year who's downstairs asleep, hasn't got up to go to school yet. And then Robin LaRue is the treasurer. She's in the 3rd year of her first term, and she has a 4th and 7th grader. And then welcome to the new board members. We have several new board members this year. Rachel, who is the vice president, she's in the 1st year of her first term, and she has a 1st, 5th, and 8th grader at Westgate. Derek, also in the 1st year of his first term and has a 6th and 10th grader. Savita, who's in the 1st year of her first term and has twins in 5th grade. And then Trey, who you'll hear from in a minute, 1st year, first term, and has a 2nd grader at Westgate. And then I just want to take a minute to say thank you to our past board members, Dan Obenhaus, who's on the call. I think I saw him out there. Hey, Dan. Spent 6 years on the board of directors. Lauren Roybal spent 6 years on the board. Corey Arthur spent 4 years on the board, and Jeff Hilton spent 1.5 years. And this last year was their last year of service. So we wanted to say thank you to all of them for the effort and energy that they spent working with Westgate and the board of directors. So thank all of them.
All right. So thank you for that introduction, Mario. I want to talk a little bit here about what the board of directors actually does. So the board of directors ensures that Westgate's priorities and growth are in alignment with our mission and vision. I want to point out here we're a group of volunteers. This is not a paid position. We're all doing this because we really want to make sure that we can support the school in every way we can. And we're responsible for overseeing the school's success by making mission and vision focused decisions. So we're a very big picture part of Westgate. We make sure that the growth and decisions that we make are aligned with the school's mission and vision, as I just said. We create the school's strategic plan, as they introduced earlier. We're still, we haven't got all of the particulars lined out for that, but we have all the main points down. We're just working out a couple little things left. And then we oversee the school's finances and approve the annual budget. So again, just making sure everything is in alignment with our school's mission and vision. Oh, too far forward. I also want to talk for a second about what we don't do, because it's very important that we have an understanding of what the board is actually here for. The board's responsibilities don't overlap or interfere with the responsibilities of the executive director. So the day-to-day operations of the school, that's the responsibility of our executive director. So for example, we don't select curriculum, we don't hire or fire anybody, we don't manage the classroom matters. Those are all things that are outside the scope of what the board of directors is actually doing. However, I do want to just notice that a lot of times those are those are concerns that parents have that they want to advocate about. So we do have a system for advocacy that I'd like to go ahead and talk about here, and that is our communications pathway. So before I talk about the pathway, I just want to comment that you can find this on the website under the About Us tab. There's a section for it right there on the website. So this is your path for advocation. If there is some reason that you feel like, or that you feel that you need to advocate for your child, this is the pathway to do it. So generally it starts with the teachers, and then you can go on from there depending on which kind of advocacy you need. So there is a section down here at the board where it says board, down here at the bottom, excuse me, where it says board member. We are in this pathway, but we are at the very bottom. And the bottom line for us is that we really can't do a whole lot unless you have gone through the communications pathway as it stands here. Because if an issue is brought to our attention that hasn't been through the communications pathway and isn't in this third column here, then all we can really do is direct you back to the person in the communications pathway at the step you are. That's all we can really do at that point, unless it's gone through the communications pathway to get to us. Now, I want to be clear on something. We have this communications pathway to make sure that you can get in touch with the people who can most effectively support you and support your child. But that does not mean that you can't share your concerns with the board. In fact, at all of our board meetings, one of the first things that we do is we have an open mic where community members can come in and share their concerns. It's just that if your concern is something that is related to your child's social emotional needs or their academic needs, then it has to go through the pathways here, because the board, we really just can't do much about it until it goes through the pathways. I don't think I had anything there. I don't see any questions. Any questions in the chat about that one? No. Okay. All right, and I think that's my section.
Yeah, thanks, Trey. That was great.
Welcome.
So I am back to talk about ways that you can be involved in Westgate. So we're going to talk about the committees, and thank you, Sharon, for calling those out earlier. I'm just going to try to give a little bit more detail. So the first committee we want to talk about is the events committee, and our Vice President, Rachel Marsh, is the liaison from the board to the events committee. Rachel's been on events for a while. If you're new to Westgate, events is kind of like another school's version of a PTA. They do a lot of fundraising for the school, but also just do fun events that kind of build community and build kind of support for the school. So there's some easy things. You can sign up to be in the King Supers program, where a % of sales go back to the school. You can do box tops, things like that. No actual active effort once you're enrolled, and that does provide support to Westgate. Whenever we have conferences, when we have Teacher Appreciation Week, we take donations, and that can be food, it can be supplies, it can be money, it can be time, whatever works for you and your schedule to be involved. That's great, and we're happy to have that support. We do spirit nights. You're going to eat anyway, and so if you want to go out to eat and support the school, usually about once a month we have a spirit night at a restaurant, or we do a Skate City event. Again, food. So just keep an eye on your emails, the Adleo, the calendar, and you can be alerted to when those happen. Those are a very popular and great way to support the school. We do get some good funds back from that. So if you go to the events page on Support Westgate on the main page, you can see more details, or you can email events@westgateschool.org if you're interested in participating. If you are going to participate, yay. We do ask, though, that if you're going to do that inside the building, that you've filled out a background check so that we can just follow our policy on that and make sure that everyone who's working in the school is safe. So we want you to be involved. Please fill out the background check if you think you're going to come in the building, but events is a great way to participate in whatever way works best for you and your family. The next committee is the School Accountability Committee, and Trey and Mario are both our liaison for that. SAC is a really important committee. It's one that we are required to have as a charter school. This is the committee that's going to look at test scores. It looks at the parent survey, and it does a lot of work that then comes to the board and comes to our school leadership to say, hey, these are things that we need to work on. Here are some things we can do to work on them in terms of just improving academic education at the school. We really, really would like to have some people involved in this one. Just having that parental insight is really helpful. I was on SAC last year. It's a great committee. You learn a lot of stuff. The meetings are once a month, usually the third Thursday in the evenings at 5:30. So you can email sac@westgateschool.org, or you can just go on the calendar and attend the next meeting. So again, would love to have some people join us for SAC. The third committee I'm going to talk about is grants. So if you are familiar with the playground, the chicken coop, the goats, the amphitheater, all of our outdoor stuff, a lot of that was paid for by grants. And now we're really working on building the grants committee to look at some new things again for STEM, for some of our facilities. And we're working on the BEST grant to work on our HVAC equipment. The Audinasium kind of falls into the grants area. So if you have interest in looking for ways to get money, if you love writing grants or writing proposals, this is the committee for you. Savita is our grants committee liaison, and so you can email grants@westgateschool.org if you are interested. Their next meeting is going to be on September 16th. It's right before Carline. So you can park, come into the meeting, grab your kid and go, and you get to skip Carline for that meeting. So it is a great perk if you want to come to that one. So we're really focusing on this committee to kind of get it reinvigorated and back up and running, because there's a lot of really cool stuff we can do once we get the money for it. The finance committee is the fourth committee we're going to talk about. Robin and Derek are our members or our liaisons from the board for that. And they partner with Terry, our director of finance, and really want to make sure that we are in a healthy financial position. So we are now 13 years old as a school. And, you know, in those early days, like you're looking at every dollar. We still look at every dollar. And so we want to just let you know that we are in a healthy position financially. We've done a great job with investments and kind of positioning our money where we can get the most benefit from it. We have had clean audits every year, and a big shout out to Terry, who is just finishing up our audit for this year. That's going to be presented to the board at one of our next meetings. And we are actively earning interest with our cash reserve. So we're really excited to make our money work for us. The Tuesday, September 23rd, that's the board meeting where we'll be doing the audit discussion. So you are welcome to join in person or online if you have interest in learning more about the finances of the school. And again, big shout out to Terry, because that's a lot of work. Mario.
All right, staying in the know. So at the risk of sounding repetitive, I'm going to run through all of this really quickly again. I'll make it a lightning round. I'll be brief. So ways that you can stay in the know. Attend the board meetings. You can do that either in person or virtually. At the beginning of all of the board meetings, there's an open mic where guests or parents are given 3 minutes to provide feedback. And while we generally don't interact directly with the feedback we get during the meeting, we do take it and we discuss it in board meetings and figure out what the next best steps are after we get the feedback. So it's a really good way to let us know what's on your mind. You can watch for announcements in your email and Westgate Wire. There's lots of good info that comes out in there. And then all of the agendas and meeting minutes from the board meetings are posted in the board of directors page on the Westgate site. So you can go, you know, look at a high level of all of the great and exciting things that we talk about during the meeting. Other things that you can do, you can join a committee. So Carrie just went through all of this. We've got SAC, we've got finance, grants, we've got events. All of these could use additional help. So if you're able to or willing to, it would be great to have some people volunteer and get on those committees. You could support the fundraiser. It's easy to do. Like I think was mentioned, you could do the box tops. You could buy groceries from King Supers and use the app. Subscribe to the calendar where you'll stay up to date on everything that's happening and you can be in the know. And then volunteer, right? Like if all you have to give is your time, that's more than enough. Like that's exactly what we need. So we'd love to have extra volunteers and extra help. You could come to events and spirit nights, and the one at Red Robin was fantastic. Like the turnout was great. I think everybody had a good time. So I highly recommend going to one of those if you can. And then read the Westgate Wire. More good information in the Westgate Wire for everybody.
All right, that is the end of our presentation. I just want to remind everybody that the next board meeting is on Tuesday, September 16th at 6 p.m., both in person and virtual. And we'd love to see you there. We'd love to hear from you. You can also reach out to the board by email if you have other things and can't make the meeting. I want to say thank you to everybody who attended. Thank you to all of our presenters, and thank you to the school leadership for putting these on to help with communication, and honestly, for everything that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you to our board of directors. Thank you for all of the information. Thank you for your dedication to our school, and all of the work that you do to make everything happen, and to keep us on track with our mission and vision. I put in the chat, you can enroll in the King Soopers Community Rewards, and you just select Westgate Community School. That's something that they talked about. It's easy, and a percentage of every purchase at King Soopers that you put in your card number comes back to Westgate. I had my parents enroll, cousins, neighbors. They can all select Westgate. It's an easy way to donate to the school. So thank you all so much. Keep an eye out for our next newsletter, which will be the first Thursday of September. We appreciate you being part of our community.